From the Oklahoma newsroom, this is a Thunder update. I'm Jenny Carlson. Kevin Durant again sidelined by injury, a sprained big toe on his right foot, and Anthony Slater joins us on the phone to break it down. Anthony, listed as day-to-day is Kevin Durant. How serious an injury is this for a guy who's 6'11" and got a lot of pressure going on those feet?
I mean, I don't think it's serious in the sense of, like the right foot surgeries he had last season, which put him out for a long time. But if you'll remember last season, within all that, he actually sprained his left big toe at some point in the middle of the season. Very similar play to the one that he did this one on. And he ended up missing 4 games. So I think that's kind of the platform we should probably put this one on right now. He's obviously already missed 1. And, if he was to sit this entire week, he'd miss 4 through Sunday. So I think that's maybe the timeline we should be using as a scope.
Anthony, as we talk about this injury, right big toe, you mentioned the right surgeries he had on that foot this last year. People wonder, is there any correlation? Is there any sense that there is a correlation between a guy who had that Jones fracture in his right foot now having this big toe sprain on his right foot?
I don't think so. I mean, I can understand any type of concern, especially just foot injuries with this guy right now. But if you watch the play that actually happened, it was just kind of a fluke action, I guess. He's running up the court, and he actually kicks the back of Marvin Williams' foot, and it looked like a very bad stub of a toe, basically. And they're going to be cautious with him. He was out. He was at the game last night. He was walking around the arena and the tunnel during timeouts, wearing 2 shoes. It's not like he was wearing a boot or anything. He wasn't walking with a limp. Obviously, running is different than walking, but I mean, this doesn't seem like something they're trying to hide him from the media or they're concerned about. I just think it's them just taking a long-term approach with a short-term injury.
Hey, lastly, Anthony, we saw Anthony Morrow start in Durant's place. It obviously mixes some things around with the lineups and that sort of thing. Sacramento beats the Thunder without Durant on Monday night. How did you see the adjustments without Durant? I mean, clearly you're losing one of the best players, but this team, everybody else healthy, some really good minutes and things that have happened lately from some of those reserves. How did you see things playing out, especially if we're talking about Durant missing a few more games?
Yeah, I think maybe his defense was missed more than his offense. Anthony Morrow came in and actually had 20 points. But he just doesn't provide any of the same versatility defensively, the length that Durant does. And that was an issue in the first half. The Kings scored 68 points in the first half. Then, maybe if you look towards the second half, his offense probably was missed because the Thunder only scored 18 points in the third. But, they're just going to have to string stuff together and, play more consistent defense because you're just not going to get either production offensively or defensively that you would with Durant, but they got to play better than they did last night. You can't lose at home to a 13-20 Kings team.
Definitely not, and they'll have a chance to get back on the winning side of home against the Memphis Grizzlies on Wednesday night. That's an 8:30 tip, as it's the late game on ESPN. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com every day in the Oklahoman.